Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Jules Suds and Soaps. Today what I wanted to make was my previous video, I had made this soap here. And these were shavings that I wanted to put on this, but I really couldn't, I didn't fit many on there. So what I wanted to do, because I'm going to be selling my soaps, I wanted to have some sample bars for the people to try as well. So, and I also want to have, more sizes, different sizes, so there'll be different prices. So, but I thought they'd be pretty. I'm just going to be using the clear melt and pour, basically, and putting them in like this, and we're going to see what we get. Okay, I'm going to melt this down, 2 cups of clear melt and pour. I'm going to melt it down for 30-second bursts. And after 30 seconds, you take it out and you stir it. And, if it's a low temperature, you put it back in. And you just continuously, every 30 seconds, stir until it's completely melted. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And this should take maybe two minutes at the max. 2-3 minutes. Okay, I'll be right back. I wanted to show you what the soap would look like at 30 seconds. So it really hasn't done much at all. The bottom's barely warm. So I'm going to continue, the whole process until it's completely melted. And we'll be right back. This has been the progress after 1.5 minutes. So you can see we're getting there. Let me go get my skewer. I prepared the mold with alcohol, and I started to put these in because I wanted to place them. So what we're going to do is try and stir this the best we can. Okay, well, this still needs some time, so we're going to put this back in the microwave, and I'm going to continue filling these bars. And I did spray these shreds. I sprayed them with a lot of alcohol because these are all separate pieces of soap, including the melt and pour we're going to be putting in. And we want everything to be one solid piece. Okay, we're going to take our soap out now. And this is what it looks like. Now, I don't even want to take a temperature right now, because if you do take a temperature, you have to do it where there are no chunks, because you will not get an accurate reading. But I'm going to stir this and get as much out as I can, because the focus is we don't want to overheat the soap. If we overheat it, it will change the smell of it. It might discolor it and darken it. And it just will kind of seize up on you. And, it won't work with you as well. Because with melt and pour, it's all about time and temperature. Okay, so let's take a temperature of an area that doesn't have... Okay, so we're at 134. I feel confident that I can put this back in, to get these clumps out. So I'm going to put this back in. Probably, I think, about another 30 seconds or so will take care of that. Okay. I actually need to make more of these. So I'll get my shredder here in a minute. Okay, so this is where we're at. I'm trying a new camera angle. I'm hoping it's working. I'm going to put this back in. There's just, the clumps are too big. And we'll be right back. Okay, we ran low on these shreds. So it'd be a good opportunity to show you how I made these. You know, and it's real simple. Again, this was from a past soap. And how I did it was, on some of them, I did just the blue, and then the purple would come through. And then I flipped it over. Now, because these are so thin and small, I may need these actual shreds. I may need to bulk up the amount that I'm going to put in. So I'm not sure yet how it's going to respond to this. So I'm just going to kind of wait and see and go from there. So again, it's just repurposing your soap. And these are just cuttings from, you know, bars that were kind of misshapen or too small. Okay, now again, I know I say this constantly, but the rubbing alcohol is absolutely necessary. And we're going to get our soap out and stir it and see where we're at as far as the temperature. This is looking really good right now. Let's check. I only have like a very minute amount of clumps. 152. So this is a little bit too warm for me to pour, because if I pour right now, these embeds are just going to melt. And we don't want that to happen. I would feel more comfortable. I think even 130 might be pushing it. But we will see. And because I want this to be, you know, as opaque as I can, I'm not going to be adding, you know, any micas to this at all. I want it to be as clear as possible. In fact, another way to help that is make sure you get the bubbles out, because they will stay in here and you'll lose clarity. So I'm going to check the temperature. Okay, we're at about 132. It's getting there. Okay. It's still too warm. 130. But everything is melted. Oh, these are so thin. I don't know if you can see them. Okay, I'm going to just try and pour one and see what happens. Worst case scenario, we just shred more. Okay, so I'm confident I have enough alcohol in there, rubbing alcohol. You want to make sure you fill in every gap. You don't want any holes. So what I'm going to do, this first one's going to be a test. I want to see at this temperature if these embeds are melting or not. And I want all of them inside. Get that air bubbles out. Okay, we're going to go to the next one. Make sure you get all into the corners. Boy, this kind of looks neat. I want everything to be inside. Starting to set. Make sure everyone is pushed in there. Get a few more bubbles. Sometimes you can pop them. Got one of them out. That's better. Okay, it looks like I need to melt a little bit more melt and pour. And I will do that, and then we'll get back to this. Be right back. We are back. I forgot to say that I had put in 0.3 ounces of my lavender fragrance. So it's 0.3 ounces per pound. I put about a teaspoon in. Here as well. So within the whole soap. So it's about a 2 pound. You'll use 2 pounds. Now I'm hoping that this color or fragrance does not discolor my clear part. Sometimes fragrances, particularly if they have vanilla or vanillin, it's called, in it, that will darken your soaps in discoloring them. So I don't know with lavender how that behaves. So I'm going ahead and getting the bubbles out. I do want to check my temperature because this does feel a little warm to me. Actually not. So it's at 120. I'm going to definitely start pouring, because it's going to start really thickening up quickly. Again, I want everything inside the bar. Okay, now I'm going to spray that. Get those bubbles out. You want these bars to be as clear as possible, so that you want them to be transparent. There, that's much better. Okay, I'm going to give it one more quick stir. I'm going to continue. Again, just please, make sure, that's the biggest advice I could give you. Make sure that you really get the soap everywhere. Make sure there's no holes. Because you don't want holes in your bars of soap. Okay, and I have the last one here. Stir it, it has a skin, and in this situation I really don't want a skin because it will end up, if it's not incorporated, it'll end up, you just won't be able to see clearly, put it that way. It's going to obstruct the view. Okay, so paying attention to get into every nook and cranny. Now, I'm not even going to add glitter on this. Surprise, surprise. I do want to see the insides. So I don't want anything taking away from that. I want to see how this turns out.